was just like, Democrats, terrible. I'm voting for you no matter what. He just kept talking about the Soviet Union. There's like, at least I got to vote there.
I like it.
You all signed in?
Where are we? And then there's the people actually ask me.
Yeah, I guess it's like
It
a
was
lot
the
of
most
backpacking
terrifying
and
people.
then
They're just like, they know what they're talking about.
they don't just
You actually,
you guys should just like
oh god,
they
it
caught
caught
it
me.
or something.
Yeah, she's acting spicy.
No, it's just like it's not like evenly like covered. It's like yeah, it's alright. Yeah, it's like no
Yeah,
like this.
it depends on
It could sometimes be ID.
I'm not allowed, I'm not.
No, that's what it is.
The people who's voting, we have to change it to, what was he running?
like the little phone. Oh, is that
How'd
you do
I don't know. Wait. Which one?
That's one.
Is it from the first one? How do you know?
Are you
sure?
I've never seen like a second.
No, why not?
Sorry.
It's all good. Yeah.
All right. Meeting called to order at 3:10 p.m. Before we move forward, we do need to nominate a temporary EG. Kevin. Jillian, do you accept? Jillian, you are now the temporary AG. And then we need a temporary clerk. Andrew.
I nominate Kevin for temporary clerk.
Kevin, do you accept? Kevin, you are now the temporary clerk. All right, roll call. So is everyone here who's been sworn in signed in? Good to go? Good, beautiful. Acceptance of the minutes. So all of y'all on your iPad, just scroll on down to the agenda and you'll see the minutes. So take a look at it, take a couple seconds, make any edits that y'all want to make, and then we'll vote. Okay, are there any changes to the minutes? Looks good. All right, we'll now hold a vote. In order to accept the minutes, we need a two-thirds majority vote. All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstaining? The minutes have been accepted. Administrative reports.
No report.
Okay. Officer reports. So with officer reports, we're going to go ahead and swear in the new legislators. So I ask all of the new people, come on up here, and then you're going to give your name, your major, and why you decided to join the SGA. Right on up here. Just get closer. There you go. All right, after you, sir.
Oh, cool. My name is Jonathan Vallejo. I just go by John. I'm a political science major. I am a junior. This is my second year at Montclair, though. Did my first year at county school. And the reason I joined SGA, one day I do want to pursue a career in politics. I didn't even know SGA existed, to be honest. Like, I was at a meeting for my group, and they were just like, oh, we need somebody to be legislator, preferably a political science major, which I am. So I was like, I'll do it. So I was really motivated to, get more involved on campus and to represent my fellow students.
Next.
Hi, my name is Daya. I'm a freshman. I'm Claire, but I'm leaning towards business administration and finance. The reason I wanted to join the SGA was to inform myself more about politics, since I am going to be voting soon. I want to know what I'm doing, what I put my vote into, and I feel like a good way to do that is by knowing how the inside works. And I also want to get more involved on campus.
Good afternoon, my name is Marcus. I'm a senior. I'm a psychology major. The reason I wanted to join the SGA is to find out the process that the SGA does.
I'm Greg. I'm a psych major. I'm a junior, and I joined the SGA because I want to be a part of
this campus better.
All right, so all of y'all raise your right hand and repeat after Jillian.
So when after I said I, you're all gonna state your name at the same time, all right? So I
I, John
Thanks.
Vallejo,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of legislator
the office of legislator
of the Student Government Association
of the Student Government Association
of Montclair State University Incorporated,
of Montclair State University Incorporated,
and that I will,
and that I will,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
uphold the Constitution of the student government.
uphold the Constitution of the student government.
Congratulations. All right, so go back to your seats, and what that means is that all of y'all can now vote once we call a vote, so keep that in mind and you're golden. So. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move into cabinet reports. Any reports from the cabinet? All right, so we're going to go ahead and move into committee reports. So any of the committees that's been actually have met, if you all want to report on anything that's been going on? Kelly?
Yeah. Can I stay here?
Go for it, it's fine.
Hi, I'm talking on behalf of Org Review. So we sent out our first round of emails to clubs that wanted to initially charter this semester, and the Class 4 orgs that need to charter. The Class 4 director has been informed what orgs need to charter, and they have to submit their paperwork to recharter by October 13th. So we're moving along.
Sounds good. Any questions for Kelly? All right. Anything else in committee reports? Sounds good. So we'll go into more about what the committee schedule is looking like, which committees y'all are going to sit on during programming, so that way you'll have a better idea about, what each committee entails and all that good stuff. So, all right. So now we're going to go ahead into programming. So speak of the devil, I'm going to go ahead and move this bad boy up.
I just reached out to Class 4 and initial charters, not Class 3, 2, yeah.
All right, everyone. So basically, this is what the schedule is looking like right now. So all of y'all who have at least been sworn in should have access to editing this spreadsheet right here. So basically, what it details is each committee, what each committee's about. That's in the first lesson tab. What the times basically are. So what the times are looking like now, pretty much set on what it's looking like. As you can see for each committee, there's a sizable amount of people here and there. So these are the available committees y'all can be a part of. So, of course, if you don't know already, as a legislator, y'all are required to sit under 2 committees. And so the committees that you're going to see up here, they're all standing committees. And they range from either administrative duties that have to be done within the SGA or student affairs concerns on campus. So, for instance, I'm going to go down and then just lay out what each committee pretty much entails and give you all some details on it. So with the Government Administration Committee, you'll basically hear about issues with, not mostly issues, but administrative stuff within the SGA. Things that we have to pass that's mandated by our statutes. So within the Government Administration Committee, it's their duty to review the statutes or governing documents of the SGA. So it's pretty important because y'all as legislators have the opportunity to make any changes y'all want to our statutes. And basically what that entails is that any policies organizations have to regulate or be a part of, it's all laid down within our statutes. And so you can have access to those statutes on HawkSync, on our student government portal, under files, you'll have access to our statutes. But every semester, the SGA is mandated to review the statutes, and they go up in front of the legislature where y'all approve it. So it's a really important committee. Again, you can make changes to whatever it is y'all want regarding any regulations policy, just as long as it's justified. We'll have the Attorney General present as an ex officio, because it's their job to basically enforce the statutes. So they'll be there shedding their light on whatever changes y'all want to make. So it's meeting on Mondays from 1 to 2. So if anyone's interested in sitting on it, if it sounds like it piques your interest, feel free to let me know, and I can jot your name down under it. So that's what that committee's about. So is there anyone in the room right now who hasn't chosen 2 committees yet or any of that? If you are, raise your hand. All right, so I'll detail the other committees, what else is available before you make your decisions. So with organizational review committee. So like what Kelly mentioned earlier, so us here at the SGA, we do oversee a lot of organizations, and that number totals 73, be it inactive, whatever it is. So in order for organizations to be chartered, they go through a process, a vetting process with the SGA. And how that looks like is that whatever organization that's looking to initially charter, so organizations that are already chartered, or organizations that are looking to re-charter, existing orgs that have to go through that process again each year, they go through this committee. That way, the legislators who sit on that committee review what the organization's been up to. You know, anything pertaining to how they've been active on campus, whatever it is. And then y'all make that vote whether or not they continue being an organization. So it's a pretty important committee to sit on. You'll get the opportunity to see a lot of different orgs come up and give their spiel about whatever it is they do. So it's a really interesting committee. So if you're interested to sit on it, they meet Tuesdays 12 to 1. The chair is, of course, Kelly, so our president pro tempore who oversees the charterments and all that. So if you're interested in that committee, let me know. Appropriations, basically that committee is pretty important. It deals with allocating funds with whatever it is that organizations request money for. Any bill that you see go up here regarding money is sent to that committee. So basically detailing whatever it is, if we want to do line transfers for our corporate budget or access money from unappropriated surplus, which is just unmandated monies that we could access, it goes through that committee. So basically, if you're a whiz with finances, whatever it may be, that's a really important committee to sit on too. So they meet Wednesdays 2 to 3, so if you're interested, let me know. Marketing and publicity, pretty self-explanatory. Its purpose is to market the SGA, anything regarding PR, whatever it is. You'll have the opportunity to update our social media, whatever it is, propose ideas to this executive secretary regarding that. So it's a really interesting committee if y'all are really involved with that. You'll get to touch upon our new YouTube channel that we created for the SGA. And speaking of which, I should probably mention, and I probably should have mentioned it earlier, but y'all may have noticed we have a camcorder back there. So if y'all want to take a look at it, it's right there. And it's recording all of us. So what that basically means is that the videos are going to be uploaded on YouTube to maximize transparency on campus. That way, people who can't make these meetings, they can watch it on YouTube, whatever it is, get uploaded. So if y'all have any issues with being uploaded on YouTube, let me know. So, yeah. So that's pretty much the role of that committee. So, yeah. So marketing, the SGA, y'all have the opportunity to do tabling on campus, whatever it is, just get the word out there about what we do, how this position is impactful for the campus community. That's what that committee does. And they meet Thursdays 1 to 2, so if y'all are interested, let me know. Student affairs, so this is a student affairs committee. So it's basically, it's not administrative. This deals with issues pertaining to student concerns on campus, whatever it is they propose. Y'all will start that conversation and be vocal about it and decide actions that need to be taken within that committee. So any type of legislation can be taken out of that committee regarding issues pertaining to residential, communal, or whatever it may be on top, regarding that realm of concern, that's what's going to come out of that committee. So for instance, if y'all feel as though we need more, I don't know, handicap accessibility on campus, propose it in that committee, and that way you could like spearhead that initiative. So that's pretty important. So they meet Friday 4 to 5. So again, if you don't have time, let me know. And that's pretty tentative. If Friday's a tough time for y'all to meet, we could always change the time, so that's always good. Academic affairs, mostly pertaining to student affairs, but in the realm of academia or academics, whatever it is. That relates to more departmental, like whatever it is, issues that arise. If y'all want to propose a change in, I don't know, the final schedule or whatever it is, anything pertaining to academics that you feel as though students are raising issues on, regarding books or whatever it is, that's the realm of the Academic Affairs Committee. So that's really important too. And you'll be working closely with the Director of Academic Affairs, of course, and of course with the Student Affairs Committee. You'll be working closely with the Director of Student Affairs. So that's what that's about, again, Friday, 1 to 2 this time. Dining, food service advisory, basically y'all will start up any initiative regarding any food concerns here on campus. You'll work close with the Department of Dining Services. You'll get to know closely, to work alongside with the Director of Dining Services, Jim Robinson. Basically bring up any issues y'all feel as though, anything regarding food here on campus, same place for you, whatever it is, any issues y'all see. Y'all could be vocal about that. Any surveys y'all want to send out regarding anything? If we need more, I don't know, vegan options here on campus, whatever it is, that's going to be spearheaded through that committee. And then equity and diversity. So this is pretty important. So y'all will work closely with the Office of Equity and Diversity, tackling any issues regarding racial, ethnic, cultural, whatever it is here on campus, spearheading any initiatives proposed by the administration. You'll work closely with the Director of Equity and Diversity. That's what that committee's about. So that's Thursday, 10 to 11. All right, so I basically went over all the committees available. So now what I'm going to ask is that those who haven't chosen a committee yet to let me know right now. That way we place you under a time that works and whatever is available within your schedule, or if there's any committees that you notice could use some more people, because that's always important too, that we have more people. So, all right. So who here hasn't chosen a committee yet? All right, tomorrow. Anything works for you when that's next
Yeah, I
session?
was going to be in appropriations.
Okay. All right, so we'll have you down pat for that. So, 4 minutes later. All right. Do you think you could fit any other schedule? I know you spoke to me earlier about.
Yeah, I can try to do the organizational review.
All right.
But I'll let you know.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
Right now it's tentative. I'll just put you down for it, and if anything arises, let me know.
But
All right, so that's set for that. Anyone else who hasn't chosen a committee yet? You, sir. Remind me of your name.
John.
John. All right. Any one of them spark your interest?
Marketing and publicity and appropriations.
Sounds good to me. All right. Definitely have a handful of appropriations. All right. So good. All right. Sounds good. Why does that keep turning off?
I think that.
No, I think it's like the cord.
It's the cord.
There you go. All right. All right. Next. You there.
I already chose to, but for Thursday, the other Thursday.
Oh, Equity University? Oh, you're already there.
Can I change it to the marketing and
Sure.
publicity,
Of
please?
course.
Thank you.
And then you still want to stick with Equity and Diversity?
Oh, no, take that. I already chose another one.
Oh, you did, right. You're... Which one are you under? Oh, you're a student grades. Got it. All right, sounds good. All right, anyone else? Duke?
Food. My name is
Okay. Wait, remind me again, what was it?
Food and
Okay.
otherwise.
Got it. And then, did you have another one spark your interest?
Last time we were talking about the diversity one. I don't know if that one's still.
They're still going to be meeting. There was a misstep with like having access to the room. After this meeting, all these committees will be meeting, and you all will be solidifying a chair for each committee. So they'll be meeting at this time this week, so or tomorrow. So don't you worry. Anyone else? Angela?
Food and marketing.
Food and marketing. All right. Greg?
I'll take student and academic affairs.
Sounds good. Okay. Looks good. All right. Am I missing anyone? Everyone's good? Did y'all, well, it's all there. If y'all end up wanting to change anything, please let me know. How it's going to work basically is that I'm going to put all of y'all in group chats. So each of these committees are going to have their respective group chats if they don't have one already. If you haven't done so already, download the GroupMe app because that's going to be our main point of communication throughout the semester. So yeah, I have your numbers down, so I'll put you down pat for that. And then once the committee meets, there's pretty much not going to be anything yet regarding initiatives being passed. And right now, what we have to solidify is chairs for the committee. That way, I can do some training with y'all, get you caught up on what the committee entails. So when y'all go to your respective committees, it's important that you select a chair for that committee, who basically will just be like facilitating whatever initiatives that's coming from the executive board, myself, whatever it is, relate to that committee. So figure out that, and then what also has to be decided upon is a committee secretary. So that basically entails just taking note about whatever is being done during the committee meeting, not verbatim, not word for word, just what's been done. It's pretty straightforward, so a committee secretary has to be selected as well within the committee. So yeah, keep that in mind. So other than that, it's pretty much all I have regarding each committee. So again, it's pretty important that y'all sit on them, and it's really important because this is going to be the majority of what legislative powers are all about. They're going to be coming through committees. And so whatever you'll see during this meeting here will be put through committee. And then, there was one thing I wanted to mention too. So you're going to be seeing some bills obviously being put through, whatever it is. For those who've been here, we had bills go up, and as they all have noticed, we had to have either been discharging committee or going to committee as a whole. So that process, we go through bills, right? There's a process, and when we hit committee report, that's when bills have to go through committee. So for instance, last week, we had a bill regarding matching funds for an organization requesting money. Typically, a bill like that would go through appropriations committee. We have some candidates going up for Attorney General or Financial Clerk, as you'll see in the agenda. For instance, that will be placed in the Government Administration Committee. They deal with appointments. So that's pretty much what that entails. And then each committee has access to funding from the unappropriated surplus. They can access whatever funds they want to make purchases, whatever it is to help initiate whatever y'all want to do out of those committees. So yeah. Are there any just questions, any general just concerns, Savannah?
Since marketing and publicity changed our date, we don't have to meet for like another week, correct?
I would say so, because y'all already, I already talked to y'all about what the committee entails and all that. If y'all have a chair in mind, you wouldn't have to be, I'll put you in the group chats, that way you could like figure out whatever it is, if you want a chair or secretary for the committee, but you're fine, don't worry about it.
Okay, so like starting next Thursday.
Starting next, yeah. Any other questions regarding just committees in general, or I don't know, what they entail? I know I've been going pretty fast, but it's all laid out there, so looks good. All right, so there's that. Stay tuned for any other developments regarding committees. So. We're going to go ahead and move into, there's nothing in unfinished business, so we're going to go ahead and move into new business. So we're going to be considering Bill F-2019-041, Attorney General Jackson appointment. 014.
Now considering Bill number F-2019-14. Be enacted by the legislature of the Student Government Association of Montclair State University Incorporated that whereas Eric Jackson has expressed interest in serving the students of Montclair State University, and whereas I have met with Eric Jackson in regards to the position of Attorney General to discuss the duties and responsibilities for said position, and whereas I have found Eric Jackson to be fully prepared and qualified for this position, be it resolved that Eric Jackson is appointed to the position of Attorney General for the 2019-2020 school year. Submitted by Jarrell Saunders Didymus, SGA President, September 30th, 2019.
Author's report.
Hi, everybody. Y'all know we had to appoint a new Attorney General, and Eric has been interested in Attorney General for a year now. So we definitely took into consideration of his justice job that he did have. So he sat, as y'all know, he sat as an Associate Justice for the past year as well. So he's pretty familiar with the Constitution and the statute, and I feel like he's best fit for the Attorney General.
Questions for the author? Candidate's report.
Hey guys. Like Jarrell said, I was a part of the judicial branch. I've reviewed the statutes and Constitution plenty of times, so I feel as though I'm the right person to go and review it and make any edits to it if it needs.
Questions for the candidate? Just point of clarification to the legislature. So basically, the Attorney General position entails they're there to enforce the statutes, making sure whatever it is constitutional, whatever bill that's proposed here, the legislature is constitutional, make those rulings as needed to enforce any regulation policy with organizations coming up with whatever it is that they have to do, and just make sure the statutes are in line with the Constitution. And so the Government Administration Committee, like I mentioned earlier, he's going to be sitting on that if it passes. He's going to be sitting on the committee and then, of course, help spearhead that review of the statutes. So, all right, committee report. Andrew.
Motion to move to committee.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, so in order to move it to committee as a whole, we need a 3/4 majority vote. All those in favor? Okay, all those opposed? All those abstaining? We are now in committee as a whole. All right, so basically what that means is we're in committee as a whole. Typically a bill like this would go through Government Administration Committee, and the legislators comprised of that committee would give a recommendation. So being that the committee hasn't really been established yet, all of us here are going to give a recommendation on this bill. So we'll pretty much just go through that process. So authors report in committee. Questions for the author in committee. Candidates report in committee. You gave your spiel. If there's anything else you want to add.
I'm political science major.
That'll do. Questions for the candidate in committee. Debate and discussion in committee. All right, so seeing none, we need a counted vote in committee. So all of those in favor. Sit tight, keep your hands up.
Can you guys raise your hands like higher?
All those opposed? All those abstaining? All right, committee recommendation is 17-0-0, positive recommendation in committee. All right, debate and discussion on the bill. All right, seeing none, we will now hold a vote. All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstaining? Bill passes. Congratulations. Sitting here now. So, just so we have that. All right, so the next bill, new business, we're actually going to go ahead and place this bill in committee. So this is going to go through the process in which it should. So being that it'll go through committee and be reviewed and given a recommendation, that way it can be up for consideration next week. So Bill F 2019-015, Financial Clerk Value Appointment, is placed into Government Administration Committee. So, seeing that we have nothing else in business, we will now go ahead and move into open forum. So, does anyone here have anything in open forum before I give what I have to say? Okay. Giovanna.
Hey y'all. So thank you to those that volunteered to help clean out the food pantry today. Tomorrow, are any of you available at 10:30 to whenever? Because tomorrow we're putting new stuff in there. So I have to leave in like 10 minutes. So if you guys could like meet me after and give me your phone numbers, email, and stuff like that.
Thank you. You've heard that. Anything else in open forum? Maria?
This is just a comment. I've noticed that a lot of the bills have gone through without much commentary or things, and perhaps that's because we have a lot of new legislators who aren't used to this. It's a good idea to ask a question, even if it's to ask the person, what's your schedule like? What made you interested in the position? Or to comment, I think you did a great job, or I've worked with this person in the past. So don't be shy to raise your hand and bring up something, because it makes the meeting a little bit more interesting. It also challenges who's ever up there to think critically about, whatever it is, whether it's a bill or a position.
Thank you, Dr. Begon. So yeah, noted. It'll definitely spice things up a little bit, whatever it is that y'all want to talk about. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Whatever it is, if it's pretty general, just lay it out there. Someone else may have that question who isn't really raising it or more vocal than others. So definitely feel inclined to just be more vocal. Andrew?
Did we skip bill number 15, 19-15?
That bill was placed in committee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it'll be up for review. It will be given a recommendation to the Government Administration Committee, and it'll be considered next week. All right. Anything else in open forum? Kevin?
Sorry. I didn't know it was playing spot. Okay, hi guys. My name is Richa. So I'm actually from Be the Match. We're located downstairs. We're doing a tabling today. So Be the Match is actually a nonprofit organization. We are trying to find people just today to register and do a swab test. It's literally a cotton swab test in your mouth. It takes 5 minutes of your time. And we have, like Julian, we have thousands of kids who have blood cancer and bone cancer. Julian here, he has a rare bone cancer and he only has a couple months to survive. We have thousands of patients all over, like it's a national thing, that are not able to survive right now, and all it takes is some people to register and just be part of the registry to see if you can potentially be a match. When you do become a match, it can take a couple months to a couple years or never. They're very, very strict with it. It's actually the tissue they use from your body. It doesn't matter if it's your O negative or O positive or what blood type you are. They use your stem cells. So let's say if you do become a match, 80% of the time they'll recommend to donate your blood stem cells. It's just like donating blood. They use a machine to filter out the stem cells, and 20% of the time they'll ask to do bone marrow. But for today, we're only looking for people to just register and swab and be part of the registry. And you could really save someone's life. We have so many people who are passing away every day, and they're young children. We have lives to live, and they do too. So please, please, please come down to the second floor. We're there until 4:30 today. Please do a swab. Thank you.
Thank you. If you're all interested, reach out to her.
Definitely.
It's really interesting.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has some cards. If you guys cannot do it today, you guys can just stop by really quickly. We have little slips, and it has a scan code. It's a 3-minute questionnaire, and it takes like a second to swab. If you guys can't do it today, we have those slips where you can have it mailed to your house, and they give you the instruction and you can mail it back. So please do it, and thank you so much.
Thanks for your time. Very insightful. All right, anyone else have anything in open forum? Jarrell?
Just two things, just to add on what Giovanna said. So thank you again to those who did help out in the food pantry today. Tomorrow, so we're getting a big delivery, like, everything that is happening, that is being added to the food pantry. So we really need some volunteers, and it'll be a great look on y'all if y'all were to help out, because, there's not a committee for it, but it's also a good thing to just volunteer and help out with the food pantry from here and there. Second thing, I wasn't here earlier, so I was just going to point to John. Did you talk to him about recharging?
So I mentioned earlier about the committees and what the organizational review does, but I did touch upon a little bit of the tournament process, but I can go more in depth actually, because it's definitely important to for y'all to know which organizations are going up for a tournament, which ones are going to be presenting in front of on behalf of y'all after they leave committee. So just be mindful of whichever ones go up, and ask as many questions y'all have to ensure that the organizations are held accountable for. So definitely keep that in mind when they come up throughout the span of the semester. So it is quite a handful. So these meetings will pretty much be a lot busier, a lot loaded. So definitely keep that in mind once we go through the semester. But yeah, just again, be mindful with any organization that comes up. Ask away any questions regarding anything. They'll be giving a presentation. That's what the committee's for. They'll be being prepared as much as they can before they present in front of the legislature, so that they can get approved on behalf of all of y'all. And typically how it works for organizations who charter or recharter, they don't go into effect until the semester following. So any of the organizations that are going to go up this semester, they will be in effect if the past spring semester, and typically last a year. So whatever it is, any class 1s will go up in the spring, class 2s and 4, you'll see a majority of them here and there coming up, presenting. So yes, just definitely be mindful of that. Okay. Anyone else have anything in open forum? All right.
Oh wait.
Sorry.
This Sunday, they're having an open house here. So everybody that usually helps with the open house can't help with. Hold on, let me look at the email. Sorry.
Take your time. Okay, so while she finds that, I'm just going to add one thing. So here in the SGA, the legislative branch, we have many opportunities for y'all to be more involved. We have, of course, the PPT position, which is already filled. As you can see here, financial clerk, basically they're going to work in tandem with the treasurer. You'll see that next week. And there is one more open position that we're still looking for, and that's just the clerk. So as y'all saw today, when we started the meeting, we had to appoint a temporary clerk. And what that basically entails is that they will be working closely with the secretary just to jot down notes, whatever it is that's been said during this meeting right now. And it's really crucial that we have that solidified sooner rather than later. So if any of y'all are interested in the clerk position, please reach out. I really recommend those preferably in the marketing publicity committee, being that you'll work close with, again, the secretary to do whatever it is, PR, uploading whatever on YouTube. The clerk will be more familiar with that. And of course, I'll shed more light on what the position entails. But don't feel, again, discouraged about whatever it is the position entails. It's not so much what's been said during meetings, it's nothing verbatim. It's mostly what's been done, whatever vote's been had. So please, if you're interested in the clerk position, reach out. We're looking for people interested, so keep that in mind. If you have any questions regarding that, feel free to ask me.
So we also do have another legislator position open. That is the student advocate. So what the student advocate does is a legislator that works to represent the students should any issues come up with a court case or any representation needed with the judicial and with the AG. If there's ever any issues, the student advocate represents, like the defense attorney basically, represents the student or the student organization in any proceedings in the SGA, and it's just really great, like, leadership position. You get to sort of see how some other positions in the SGA work. I really recommend if any of you are interested, reach out to us and put yourself forward for that.
Couldn't have said any better. So yeah, pretty much like sort of in tandem with the Attorney General, they serve as the prosecutor for whatever is case that comes up. So the Attorney General is the SGA's sort of defense. Rather, the student advocate is sort of like a public defender or part of our judicial branch, if none of y'all are familiar with that. So basically, you'll serve as the defense of whoever it is being prosecuted. So if you're interested or want to learn more about the position, reach out to one of us. We'll be here to talk more about it. So. All right, so what I'll go ahead and do is also, I just want to mention, so, important date coming up for this month, October 23rd. Mark that on the calendars. It's Wednesday, of course, during this time. We have a very important guest coming here during this time, and it is Dr. Susan Coles, president of the university. Usually every semester, every year, she takes time out of her busy schedule to come and just talk about whatever it is that's being done across the university, anything pertaining to long-term goals, short-term goals, whatever it is. So it's really important that all of y'all are here, all of you are being engaged, asking her questions regarding anything. So just be mindful of that when she comes on October 23rd. If y'all want to, feel free to dress up, business casual, whatever it is, be presentable. You'll have that free range to do that. So yeah, just look out for that. It'll most likely be a lengthier meeting. So yeah, October 23rd, please make it. So.